Lesson 7.3, Triangles. Classifying triangles. There's 3 different ways we can classify triangles by angles. We can have an acute triangle, which means all angles are acute. We could have a right triangle, so we have one right angle, or an obtuse triangle, which means we have one obtuse angle. Then we can classify triangles by its sides. So a triangle with no congruent sides is called a scalene triangle. A triangle with at least 2 congruent sides is called an isosceles triangle. And a triangle with 3 congruent sides is called an equilateral triangle. A triangle is a figure with 3 sides and 3 angles. The symbol for the triangle is a triangle. Okay, every triangle has at least 2 acute angles. One way you can classify a triangle is by using the third angle. Another way to classify triangles is by their sides. Sides with the same length are called congruent segments. So first what we are going to do is we are going to draw a triangle that satisfies the set of conditions below. Then we're going to classify this triangle. So letter A says, a triangle with 1 right angle and 2 congruent sides. So first I need to draw this. So I'm going to draw my right angle with my 2 congruent sides. And then I'm going to go ahead and connect them. Okay? So to know if we have congruent sides, we put little tick marks on there. And then with my right angle, I'm going to put my little box. And then I need to classify this triangle by its angles and by its sides. Well, I know that when I have one right angle, this is going to be a right triangle. And then to classify it by its sides, I have 2 congruent sides, and a triangle with 2 congruent sides is called an isosceles triangle. So we would say this is a right isosceles triangle. Okay, if we look at example B, it says classify the triangle shown by its angles and by its sides. So if I look at this triangle here, first I'm going to classify it by its angles. So what type of angles do I have in here? Well, as we said before, there's always 2 acute angles in a triangle. So I'm going to look at that third angle. Here's my third angle. That's the symbol for a right triangle, or right angle, so I know it's a right triangle. And then I need to look at its sides. By looking at this, it might look like these 2 sides are congruent, but I don't know for sure because it doesn't have those tick marks. So that means I have 3 sides that are different, and when a triangle has no congruent sides, it's called a scalene triangle. So we would say this is a right scalene triangle. Okay, the next thing is angles of a triangle. The sum of the measures of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So remember back to when we did our lab with our different angles and we put the angles together, we figured out there always has to be 180 degrees in a triangle. So if we know 2 angle measurements, we can always find the third. So if we look at example C, in triangle ABC, if the measure of angle A is 25 degrees and the measure of angle B is 108 degrees, what's the measure of angle C? Okay? So again, I know 2 angles in my triangle, I want to find the third. Sometimes if you have a hard time visualizing this, draw a triangle. Okay, and mine's not going to be exact. That would be 108 degrees, something kind of like this. 25 degrees, what is this missing angle? Okay, and again, I know when I add up all of my angles, I'm going to equal 180 degrees. So I'm going to take 25 plus 108 plus the measure of angle C, which I don't know, but they all have to equal 180. Okay, when I have this expression, we know how to simplify these. So I'm going to combine like terms. I'm going to take 25 plus 108. I get 133 plus C equals 180. Now I need to solve for C. Since I have a positive 133, I'm going to subtract 133 from both sides. So C would equal 47. So our missing angle would be 47 degrees. So again, when we are classifying angles, we can classify by angles and sides. And then when we're finding the missing angle measurement, we know that all the angles add up to 180 degrees.